Welcome back to the Tobago Updates morning show, and we have in studio with us today Miss Reynel Clarke, who is a member of the planning committee for the Diocesan Family Day. Yes, that's the Anglican Diocesan Family Day. Good morning and welcome to you, Miss Clarke.
Good morning, Akinlabi, and thank you for having us. I know it's just me, but I am representing the Tobago region of the Anglican Church in the Diocese of Trinidad and Tobago. So thank you for having us.
Okay, so tell us about this Diocesan Family Day. This is, for me, the first time I'm hearing about it, but I suspect it has been in existence for quite some time.
Yes, quite some time. This tradition goes back well beyond the 90s. I hope I'm not putting my foot in my mouth. I know the Archdeacon Phil Isaac will call me, but I think this dates back as far as the 70s, 80s. It was felt that we're an Anglican church in Trinidad and Tobago. We normally fellowship together as parishes. So parishes, we have 4 parishes in Tobago, several in Trinidad, but the Anglican diocese is split into 4 regions. So there's the Tobago region, South region, Northwest region, and Northeast region. So whereas all the regions usually have their own family day, it was felt that we need to have a communal all of T&T family day. So that tradition started many decades ago, and it cycles. So each year another region hosts it. It just so happened that the 4-year cycle is up and Tobago is up to host it again, and we're very excited.
Oh, okay, so this will be a national family day.
Yes, indeed. So we have a number of parishioners from Trinidad who already have their tickets booked. Actually saw Reverend Mark Haynes, a video was posted of him yesterday with his return tickets in his hand. He said, I'm coming up, I'm ready. We expect a significant number of Anglicans to be coming to the island for that weekend. Some of them are coming for the long weekend, some just for the day. Either way, we are ready and prepared to receive them.
Okay, so you said the long weekend. So just tell us the dates for this family day.
Right, so the Diocesan Family Day of the Anglican Church will be held on the 19th of June. That's the Corpus Christi holiday. 19th of June at the Bishop's High School grounds. So not inside the school. We're actually going to be setting up on the field. We expect no less than 1,000 persons in attendance. So we have a wonderful site plan laid out. We expect our service to start at 9:30 a.m. But before that, there's praise and worship to allow persons to get into the Spirit, make room for the Holy Spirit to enter in. Our chief celebrant, of course, is our Tobago Pembroke Bishop's High School raised Right Reverend Claude Berkeley, Bishop of the Anglican Diocese in Trinidad and Tobago.
Yes.
After that is the action, because family days are a lot about the fun, a lot about the enjoyment. There's a challenge trophy to be won. So right after the service, there's going to be a lunchtime concert. We'll be serenaded by a number of musicians. I think some dancers as well, vocalists, while we eat. And at 1 p.m., the thing gets serious. That is when we start vying for the challenge trophy. We kick off with a walk past or a dance past cultural presentation. We decided to invite a bit of a twist. Usually it's a walk past, you march left, right. But it was felt people come into Tobago, there's a certain expectation. We realize in talking to our Trinidad counterparts that some elements of Tobago heritage will be on show. So we felt, why not invite everybody into the conversation? We see ourselves in this regard as a precursor to the Tobago Heritage Festival. We're asking each region, which would be the Northwest, Northeast, and South, to deliver for us a representation of their local culture, something that's a staple in their region. Come and present it. And Tobago is presenting the Tobago Alltime Wedding. We'll be led by Miss Karen Berkeley Charles, ably assisted by Mr. Kevon Henry of Mason Hall.
So is it that the Anglican Church in Tobago, are you all partnering with any other organizations, businesses, any kind of thing like that?
At this time, I have to say no, but I'm happy you asked, because we are inviting a call for sponsors. Of course, parishioners, we pay dues, and the Anglican Church will build up some funds over time. But these are always very costly undertakings. So we're inviting business owners who may be Anglican, if you went to an Anglican school, or if you're just interested in supporting the church, we're asking you to send an email to Anglican PMAD. That's Anglican P as in Patrick, M as in Mary, A as in Andrews, D as in David, the 4 parishes in the Tobago region, Anglican PMAD, letting us know your interest in making a contribution. Currently, we're advertising that you can place your logo, you can buy time on our live stream. The service is normally 3 hours, so you can buy time there. Or some persons have expressed interest in being placed in our program or on our promotional videos. So we are open to that. Just send us an email at anglicanpmad@gmail.com and we'll be happy to have you.
Okay, and I know this is a family and fun day, but it's also a very church function, right?
Very
and I know
church.
it's a church event, right?
Yes.
And I know you stated about the service in the morning.
Yes.
But is there any outreach aspect to the family day at all?
Not necessarily linked to the family day, but again, I'm happy you asked because there's always outreach going on in the Anglican Church. This weekend, in fact, the St. Nicholas Anglican Church, they are based in Lambo, right behind the Lambo Anglican Primary School. They are under the parish of St. Patrick's. Their Harvest Thanksgiving services on Sunday, and as a precursor to that, we've started doing mission services. So on Thursday from 6 p.m. or 5 p.m., I'm sorry, all my St. Nicholas people, either 5 or 6, come 5:30, safe time. We will be up the hill from the church. It's in the vicinity of a bar. I'm not sure of the name of the bar, but you know, we have to go out and reach everyone where they are. So that mission service kicks off the Thanksgiving celebrations. And of course, we'll be reaching out to members of the community. There are people who need assistance in one way or another. We recognize not everyone will come into the church. So we're opening up ourselves. We're coming to you. Talk to us. Everybody does to know your business. Whisper in somebody else. Send a WhatsApp. We are here for you. We will help.
I know I want to get into some areas I don't know if you have the authority to speak about, but in terms of the Anglican Church, and we know that the Anglican Church in the 90s, 80s, 90s, maybe even the early 2000s was very big in Tobago.
Okay.
I don't know what the state of the Anglican Church is right now in terms of membership and that kind of thing. In your experience, have you witnessed a sort of falling away of membership, and is the Anglican Church trying to boost their membership?
The Anglican Church is always trying to boost its membership, always trying to invite new flock into the church. I am not in a position to give any reflection on what happened then versus now because I was born in the 90s, so that really was not necessarily on my radar. But from my vantage point, I have noticed a decline in youth involvement in the church. So whereas when I was growing up, now this is a small caveat. If anyone asks me where I'm from, I always say Trinidad and Tobago. And if you press me, I'll insist because I did live my life half in Trinidad, half in Tobago. And while I was going to primary school, every Christmas, Easter, July, August, for the full duration of the vacation, my brother and I and our cousins were sent to Tobago. So we went the full 9 yards, going to church, goat and crab race, etc., harvest in Tobago. And there were several other children around who we could play with, but we realized, or I realized, that as I matured, some of those children have disappeared from the church. I myself was one of those children who in my younger adult life disappeared from the church because, make no mistake, anything worth having does not come easy, and so too is the Christian walk, or if you're not Christian, whatever is your religious denomination you subscribe to, your views, it's a difficult journey to walk, and sometimes questions come into our minds that generational gaps may cause some tension when you try to broach it, because someone who's come from a certain time with a certain belief structure, you asking something that might be out of tune to them, you written off immediately, you know. So we recognize that there are challenges as responsibilities pass from generation to generation, as ideology and doctrine is communicated from generation to generation. And one of the things we are doing is trying to get, again, more youth members, and that doesn't necessarily mean teens or 20s, but even if you're in your 40s, you could still be considered youth, 50s, depending on your role. We are trying to have more open conversations. I invite people to have a chat. I invite anyone to have a chat with me, because anyone who knows me personally will know that I have had a very interesting journey, and what role the church plays to me at this time is a community pillar. I say that, my service to the church is not just about my faith walk, but it's where my family was nurtured. So for me, I have a different sense of duty to the church, but for someone who may not, we are here to talk, to encourage you, and to invite you to come into the Anglican Church and fellowship with us.
All right, thank you very much, Ms. Clarke. So before we wrap up, just give us one final plug for the Diocesan Family Day.
Okay, I want to look at a camera because this plug
right
is not for this one.
Right here.
Right, this plug is for all the members of the Anglican Church in the Tobago region. We are presenting the Tobago Alltime Wedding as our walk past, dance past cultural presentation. Of course, we're vying for the challenge trophy. Now we need a minimum of 20 people to participate. But how? Tobago go host the regional family day, and we do have about 60, 80, 90 people in the Alltime wedding. So we're encouraging people to come down, walk with us, dance with us. I went last week and I am hooked. I'm on the planning committee, and I say no, I have to make the sacrifice to walk this wedding because it's fun. If you ever had dreams of being in the wedding party, come down. We'll be at the Dwight York Stadium, outside the stadium on the training ground side, which is closest to the Bacalet Health Center, tomorrow, Wednesday afternoon from 5, and Thursday. This is literally the last call because we have to get fitted, and Auntie Karen is not accepting anybody after tomorrow and Thursday because you wouldn't know the steps anyway. So please come out, come out, come out. We want about 80 people in the wedding party. And if you all would oblige us and play the audio if you can, whether it's after the interview, we'd appreciate it because this is part of our outreach as well, to allow persons from the different parishes to mingle. Because St. Mary, you're quite in the east. St. David, you might be on the north side. St. Andrews, Yentong, Mason Hall, etc. And we don't necessarily always converge in a recreational setting. So we're encouraging people to come out so we could increase, we could strengthen our outreach and strengthen our inter-parish bonds as well.
All right, thank you very much, Ms. Reynel Clarke, committee member from the planning committee for the Anglican Diocesan Family Day. So ladies and gentlemen, that is all we have for the Tobago Updates morning show. So we wrap up our program here. But before we go back to our photo of the day. We go back to our photo of the day and we're going to reveal the answer. This photo was taken is a photo of the Coast Guard base at the Scarborough Port. Yes, that's the Coast Guard base there at the Scarborough Port. I think most persons would have gotten that because the view is pretty iconic. It's very easily recognizable. But this is a photo of the Coast Guard base at the Scarborough Port, and it was sent in to us by Sergeant Emmanuel York. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, so that's all we have for the Tobago Updates morning show. But our programming doesn't end there. We go on to GMT. So do us a favor, share the live, share the live, share the live. We'll see you tomorrow.
So this is a breakaway.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Just start a dance.
And we're looking for more people to participate. The Tobago region is hosting this year's Diocesan Family Day. So you know that wedding at a large. So here we are. Meet me by the Dwight York Stadium on the training ground side, closer to the Bacalet Health Center. Last call, Wednesday 11th and Thursday 12th of this week, we practicing. We only need about 20 people, but Auntie Karen says she was about 80 in the wedding, man. So come now, let we dance.